What do broken nails and tea have in common? Well, other than the fact that I love to fix broken nails and drink tea, let me show you a little secret you may not have known about. Hey guys, it's Liz from the Nail Hub, and in preparation for a new video, I took off all of my gel, and while I was moving stuff around in my studio, I jabbed my finger so hard that I actually created a little hairline crack on the side of my finger. This is super common, especially on salon clients, and even when we try to put hard gel or gel polish over it to fix the crack, a lot of times it'll split all the way through the product that we've put on top of it. So I wanted to show you a little trick that involves this tea bag right here as to how to fix broken nails. Now I'm going to use a tea bag today, but you can also use silk or what's the other thing? Carbon fiber. I don't know if they make fiber anymore for nails, but silk patches, or I think tea bags are the easiest because almost everyone has a tea bag. And rather than using glue, I'm going to show you how to do this with just gel. Okay, so let's get started. All right, so I have just a regular tea bag here. This is actually Red Rose from Canada, just in case you were curious. And I am going to zoom out just a little bit so you guys can see a little bit better. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just cut the tea bag so I can get all the tea out of it. And I'm going to dump this in the trash. Bye, tea. Okay, now I have a nice empty tea bag. And again, you can use silk if you want to, but I find tea bags are really great. I also really like this texture of tea bag paper. So I don't know why, but it's really like nice. It's thin, and I just think it's a nice texture for this. So I'm just gonna cut out a nice small piece, and usually what I try to do with this is rather than cutting like a teeny tiny little square, I usually cut a long strip because it allows me to hold on to it later. So I'm gonna put this right here, and let me show you my crack on my nail. So as you can see right here, I've got a little hairline crack in my fingernail, and if I were to put gel or something over that, it will most likely just crack again. So rather than just covering it with product, I'm going to patch this, and I'm going to use this nifty tea bag. Now, my nails are clean and they're already prepped, and I am going to just take some base coat, whichever base coat you like, it doesn't matter, and I'm just going to apply a nice thin layer over that area. Super thin layer because I just want to wet the nail a little bit. And I like to just focus on this area first, because if I were to apply gel over my whole nail and try to do this patch at the same time, I find that sometimes you're trying to work on this area and this gel is running. So rather than try and focus on everything at the same time, I'm just going to focus on this one tiny area. Okay, I'm also going to use some tweezers so that I don't have to touch my gel. And on that wet gel, I'm going to take my little strip of tea bag material, and I'm just going to put it right over that spot. And just try and get this all nice and wet. And once that is in place, I'm going to try and get it as close to the side of my nail as possible without touching the skin. And then I'm just going to gently dampen the rest of it just a little bit, just to get it to kind of lay on there. Okay, so with my tweezers, I'm just going to press this down. Like so. And I've got that nice and wet and attached to my natural nail. And now I'm going to cure it for 30 seconds. So what this really does is it allows me to create a complete patch over the crack that doesn't actually have anywhere for that crack to go through. The paper of the tea bag is going to seal that crack together, and then any product I put on top of the whole surface is going to stay together much better. The fact that I have wet gel in between my natural nail and the paper, and also on the paper itself, means that everything's going to stick together really, really nicely. Okay, so that is done curing. And now what I can do is trim this. And before I go in and apply the rest of my product, I want to give this a nice light file to make sure that any areas that are sticking up are gone, and then it's going to be a nice smooth surface. If you want, you can apply a little bit more gel first to this, or you can go ahead and just file, and any of the residual paper will come right off. So this will just help to kind of refine the shape of the paper. I don't want to file too much on the area where it's protecting the crack, but I just want to smooth this out a little bit and blend it. And you'll see like the residual pieces come off that aren't attached very well. Like so. Okay? Just get that little piece off. So now I just have the cured paper on the area where the crack was. Can you see that? So this is all blended into my nail. And I've got a little bit here, but this will come off when I file the free edge. But if I was going to do gel polish manicure, I would start with this process first, and then I can go ahead and apply my full base coat layer over the entire nail. And that'll help saturate also any dry paper that's still sitting there. So again, using a nice thin layer of base, really working that into the nail. I'm using a teeny bit more so that I can really get that paper all soaked up, and it will all turn translucent and you won't even be able to see it. Can you see just the texture in there? But now it's turned all clear and I've got base coat on my fingernail. So I'm going to cure that for 30 seconds as recommended by the product and the lamp that I use. And it will be fully cured. What I do like to do after it comes out is clean it and also give it a nice file before I put the rest of my color on. I do this so that I'm able to get rid of any lumps or bumps before I put my color on. You can also, if it's relatively smooth, go straight into your color and use your top coat or your color layers to smooth everything out. But I like to give it like one nice buff just to make sure everything is perfectly smoothed out and even. All right, so I am going to clean my base. And you'll see you can't even tell where that paper is other than that little bit of texture right there. But now that crack is perfectly sealed. Okay, so I cleaned that. And then I'm just going to take the 100 side of this buffer and just gently go over it just to kind of smooth out any residual bumps. I don't want this to add bulk to the nail, and I don't want it to be where there's like a big bump in between the paper and like where it goes back to my natural nail. So I literally just go over this really, really, really lightly. And at this point I can also get rid of that little bit of residual paper and refine the free edge shape. Like so, okay? A little bit of skin there, okay? And obviously I'm not doing cuticle prep or anything right now because I'm not actually planning on doing any product application. I just wanted to show you guys a quick little tutorial as to how to fix cracks before you go in and you apply the rest of your product. But this is a great way to fix broken nails, and you can see the crack is completely sealed. How to fix broken nails before you put gel polish on. So I'll show you from this side as well. If I zoom in a lot, can you guys see that? So now that crack is perfectly embedded in that tea bag paper. My nail is no longer cracked, it feels nice and smooth, and I can go ahead and do the rest of my prep if I wanted to, or I could have done that before, and I can go ahead and put on color and top coat. And for a natural nail client, this is really gonna make sure that their gel polish doesn't crack or peel or lift, even when you're trying to seal in a cracked area. So this is a great tutorial for you guys to use in combination with all the other videos that I've shown you here on the Nail Hub YouTube channel. I hope this helps you. This is very, very useful for not only yourself, but definitely clients when they come in with those little side cracks that happen a lot, especially on thumbs. I've noticed that's very difficult. And like I mentioned, when we just try and put product over it, a lot of times the crack will crack all the way through that product, and that will be even more annoying to try and fix, and it's more annoying for the client as well. So using something as simple as tea bag paper or silk really does a great job of patching those cracks before we put product on top. And when you go to soak off the manicure, everything will soak off with it, or you can even leave it embedded in the base coat until that area of the nail grows out completely, and you can just e-file over top of it and keep backfilling the nail. This fix will stay inside as long as your base coat does, and all we really need is for that crack to grow past the end of the finger, and then we can start from scratch. So I think this is going to help you guys a lot. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please comment below the video. I'm happy to answer any questions you guys might have, and I hope to see you guys next time. All right, bye.